Hello everyone, today we have new video review and this time we will check new tank from Miniart. As usual, don't forget to read full review article, you can find it by clicking link here in the video description below. You'll find the text in English and Russian with detailed photos of this kit. So this is a 1/35 scale kit from Miniart which copies T-54B tank. As you can see, it's early production version. And this time it comes as interior kit, so there will be full interior inside this model. And in total there are 1167 parts. Out of them 1013 plastic parts and 135 PE parts. Also there are workable torsion bars and of course full interior, engine, and also even two types of the road wheels. Separate track links, 2 operating modes, etc, etc, and even 4 marking options inside. As you can see, it's quite thick box. Here we have short information about the kit once again, and here we have, let's say, examples of the assembled model. So as you can see, day mode and also night mode, also interior kit, interior of the turret, interior of the tank, 2 road wheels types, and that's quite heavy box. It's a top opening box, so just give me a second to open it. And here is what we have inside. As you can see, packaging is quite tight, so I would recommend to check parts before purchase in order to avoid any possible problems. Now just give me a second to remove this plastic bag. So as you can guess why it is so thick, because there are plastic parts for several wheel types and also for separate track links. So as you can see, there are a lot of small frames, and I still wonder when Miniart will start to mold all those parts on large frames so that we won't have such huge amount of small plastic frames. Nevertheless, as far as you can see, they're also connected with rubber band. So just gonna remove them a bit so that I can show you at least some of them. Okay, so first let's take a look at those suspension elements. Here you can see them. They're molded on small plastic frame and they're given in several pieces, of course, so you have them for all sides. And as you can see, molding quality is quite nice, and I think it should be easy to install those parts on the model. The only thing you should care is carefully separate them, because they might be easy to break. I'm going to show you only one wheel type, because I don't see the second one. And anyway, I will remove it and we will check the second type as well. Just give me a second, because it seems to be not included on the top part of this sprue, but I hope at least somewhere it will be found. Just give me a second. As you saw on the pictures, one type is smooth and one has like really visible tire pattern, but I see only the ones with tire pattern, so it's quite interesting. I will show it in a second. Here it is. So here you can see wheels, also you can see some suspension parts, and those parts look nice. I mean, there are no templates included for wheels painting, so you will have to do it manually, but otherwise there is nothing to worry about, and I think it will be easy to assemble those parts. And still I can find smooth version of those wheels, so we will have to investigate it. Maybe they're not that smooth and as on the picture, or maybe they're... just give me a second. Yes, here is another version. So as you can see, they have separate rims, which are a bit different in their appearance. Then on the bottom of this frame we had large wide frames which are dedicated to different minor parts, and here you can see them. Of course, some of them will be applied inside this tank, and some of them are really tiny, so they will require due care in order to not to damage them on your model. Then we have another wide frame
more of the internal parts, and as you can guess, this should go to the turret. And again, they're really small. Here you can see comparison with my hand, they're really tiny. Now I'm going to remove big plastic bag, and again we have here, as you can see, two sets of plastic bags, which is not that of improvement, but still better than just one plastic bag as usual. But I guess it was done because interior parts are packed as separate set, so it was just added to this kit. And now I need to open this plastic bag so that we can check these parts closer. Just give me a second. Okay, so what we have here, large plastic frames. These are dedicated to hull parts, as you can guess, and also for some internal parts, and straight away you can see small frames falling out because again we have a lot of small frames. Okay, so let's start from this nice envelope. As you can guess, we have here P thread, so now it is included like this. Of course it is unpainted, and here we have different parts both for external and internal detailing. And of course you have to paint them because otherwise they won't look good on your model. Now I'm going to open the transparent sprue, which is packed into the separate plastic bag. Just give me a second. Actually there are two transparent sprues, but first I will show you decal sheet, which is packed together with these frames. Here it is. Here we have all necessary symbols for floor marking options. Then transparent sprues are molded like this. So here we have again different parts for interior and exterior, and molding quality is really good, but you have to cut masks because they are not included into this kit, and obviously you have to mask transparent parts in order not to lose them under the coat of paint. Here you can see some of the ammo parts. And then we have another small frame here. So those parts will go inside tank obviously, and as you can guess you will have to paint those parts carefully because otherwise they won't look good. Next we have interconnection between sprues. Here you can see the first one. Again, interior parts are here, and we have plenty of small parts, some big elements like this for ammo. Here you can see main barrel, which is molded as a one-piece part. You have to carefully separate it and sand it, and then it will look good on your finished model. And with this thin ring you have to be careful because I think it will be easy to break. Then we have another plastic frame connection. Here we have more of the interior parts once again, and some of the external parts, for example for suspension here. And molding quality again is nice, but we have plenty of thin parts which are favorite for this kit, I would say, for this manufacturer, and again they will require due care because otherwise you might end up with broken parts which are really difficult to fix. Then we have here again some ammo parts and small minor parts for interior, for example seats and other stuff. Another small plastic frame with thin parts. Again, I will remind you to be careful with them. Another small frame. Actually, I really wonder why all those minor frames are separated like this. I mean, it is easier to mold one large frame with all necessary parts and just to be lost in this huge amount of small separate frames when you have one part there, one part here, and then you have to assemble them somehow together. I mean, why I'm complaining on this, because I had experience with this on Su-122, and that's not nice when you have to jump back and forth just to find some small part like this in order to place it somewhere, because otherwise you won't be able to assemble the model, or it won't be complete. Here we have, by the way, another thin part, this antenna, and I would rather recommend to replace it with metal wire for more realistic view and easier assembly process. Drive sprockets and some suspension parts are given on those two frames. I will show you only one, of course. Here they are. Molding quality seems to be fine. Attachment points are placed right between the teeth, so it might be tricky to separate them, but at least you won't damage teeth while cutting those parts of the sprue. Then we have another plastic frame here with some parts for the turret. Two similar frames are given for external equipment. Here we have some Pioneer tools, for example the shovel and stowage bins for the outer detailing. Then we have separate sprue for the engine parts, and I would remind you that this kit should have really detailed engine, which will benefit from careful painting. And those are internal parts and some external elements for the lower hull part. And as you can see, also here we have some turp which is folded, and even machine gun here. And in case you forgot, we have another plastic bag with plastic parts, and again plenty of small sprues. Also another case with small sprues is that it is easy to lose them, so you will have to track them and be extra, let's say, careful with them, because otherwise if you lose them you won't be able to assemble some parts. As you can see, we have some broken pins here, plastic pins, but those are not serious because this is more like a flash, not their necessary, some necessary parts, some important part, but still it is notable sign that package is too tight. Here we have some towing cables. Again, they are molded as thin parts, as you can see, straight thin parts, and if you have a chance to replace them with metal analog, I would rather do it. Here we have some magazines for machine gun. They're also given on separate thin plastic sprues. Hull parts and some of the turret elements are given here. Note on also the interesting parts division for the turret parts. Of course we will have separate hatches which are openable, and here you can see the lower hull part. And what else? More of the suspension parts, some idlers for the suspension, minor parts here. I guess this will go only inside this tank. Then another plastic frame, actually there are two of them with different minor parts. This one is for the hull, of course. And then we have again two absolutely identical frames with suspension parts and some parts for the turret. Small frame with internal parts, and also this sprue we saw just a second ago. And the last and the widest frame, actually it was also covered with foam so the parts won't be broken. We have here again another version of the main barrel, and also some of the thin parts for external detailing and for the turret. So as you can see, molding quality is still good, but I still would rather prefer to see all parts on sprues like this. And last but not the least is assembly manual. It is printed in form of this large cover printed brochure. We have here a short list of the kit features. Then here we have options for the assembly. And here we have parts map, of course. Assembly process starts from the engine. We continue to the hull. Then we assemble lower part, we assemble top part, turret. In total you will have to perform like, just give me a second, 100 steps. And here we have marking guides for 4 marking options which are included into this kit. Of course this one should be the most interesting out of the offered choices. So that's all for this video review. I hope you enjoyed it. As usual, don't forget to leave your opinion about this kit here in the comment section below. And if you like this video and you want to help us, press the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I will see you in the next video review as usual. Bye!